good after evening, good after dinner. We should mark events by the meal time they come after or before. Evening meal? No, dinner. Or tea. I used to call it tea growing up. You get me? Right. Sip some tea. This is real tea. But without caffeine in it. Because I need sleep. So what have we got? What random? Yeah, tune I'm working on. Testing. This is very loud. See how it flows. Glad I noticed that because I was trying out RM sidechain and it doesn't sound good on this. Very crunchy. Strange though, this bass. We've got the sub. Milo, hi Milo. What sound are you doing? This was a track I made last year. I've just loaded it up again. I published it last year as well. And I'm just going back in and removing some stuff. But yeah, it's at half drum and bass speed. So it's kind of like drum step or half step. But it's not, in a way. It doesn't really sound like that genre, so it's just its own thing. But I've made it DJ friendly. It's got lots of sub in it and stuff. Thanks for following, Milo. Yeah, plenty of tricks going on. Yeah, I only came in just to quickly remove some samples that aren't cleared, some vocal samples that would be difficult or impossible or very pricey to clear, so that I can submit it to like some sound libraries, because yeah, I have to declare that there's nothing in there, because if there was and it ended up in like a TV show or a film, they would be liable, I believe. I don't think they want to be liable. Oh, you're an Italian producer. Nice. A producer from Italy. Unless you're talking about a genre there, like Italian house or something. I am in my 40s. Just to leave a little bit of mystery. Haven't seen you on my FFP for ages. Good to see you, wee donkey. Yeah, I do remember your name. I think that's all I remember. It's weird. There's so many people pass through here. It's hard to like actually remember everyone personally. I guess the more frequent, you're obviously going to remember more, aren't you? But I do remember your name. Zeno, hey. How you doing, Zeno? We spoke a bit about Serum and Kickstart 2. Right. Kickstart 2, yeah, Kickstart 2 with the 6 millisecond look ahead. I was, did you see Virtual Riot's recent video? It was about how he saves sidechains. And one of the things he does is ring mod sidechaining, which I've actually dropped in on this old track from last year, which I've already released. But I just wanted to see if just play and see if I can update it with any new skills that I've learned in that time. It's been almost a year since I released it, maybe 9 months or so. Serum is amazing. So yeah, Kickstart 2. At this moment in time, that is a no. But this track is just, I need to just do a few things to it, then bounce it. I don't really want to spend a long time in it. But you know, if you're into like collaborating on a track, it's quite hard for me to get going. I think I have to just like get to know you a little bit first. It's hard to just go, yeah. Like I'm open to it, but I guess we have to be on some kind of similar wavelength with things. Frequency, vibration. Terrapostal at Gmail or my Discord or even Insta. So it's probably, the thing is, it has got a look ahead, and 6 milliseconds should be enough for pretty much most material. But yeah, to do so you might have, but like Virtual Riot was saying in his latest video, he likes to use, and it's not just him, use a two different techniques. So if you do a little bit of ring mod sidechaining and a little bit of level sidechaining, like with Kickstart 2, then you can kind of blend both and get a little, because if you do 100% ring mod sidechaining, you'll find there's this weird distortion that occurs. Your kick and your bass are going at the same time, but sometimes it sounds like distorted in a weird way, which if you're making like thrashy stuff, that's probably fine. If you're making like the loudest music you can possibly make, that's definitely gonna sound distorted in some way, then it's a really good technique to use ring mod sidechain. Mic cable, there we go. It's dodgy. It is still a good plugin. Oh yeah, just make a proposal, Milo. It's great for basic sidechains. Get the job done. It does. There is no perfect, like the one I use, as you might remember, is Duck Buddy. But it does in Ableton. It is an Ableton plugin. It's a Max for Live plugin, and even with the latest version, the latest free version, which is 1.5, that's not 1.5. And the latest version of Ableton, it still has one little bug, and it might be a Max for Live bug and not to do with who made Duck Buddy, and it's sometimes it forgets the look ahead. It says 10 milliseconds there, but it might add a delay onto the track, which means all your transients that you're trying to preserve will be lost or messed up. So the way every time I go in a project with Duck Buddy in, I go to the look ahead, change it to 5, and then change it back to 10, and that resets it. And just to keep myself sane while I'm doing it, like if this tune is finished now and is going out for release, I'll do all that with this, make sure the side chains are initiated properly, and I will double check it with a scope, like size scope, because it will actually show you if it's not doing its job. You know what to look for. So as long as, thing is, per side chaining for level the level is there's loads of different ways of doing it, and even with the perfect way of doing it, you still have to. There's still a compromise, because if you duck your bass down whenever there's a kick, if you duck the whole bass channel with your mid bass, you're gonna miss all the mid range, the harmonics that's probably sound quite good every time there's a kick, and sometimes that is not desirable. So, some tracks, like a Daft Punk style, love everything ducked just for the kick to exist on its own in that moment of time, and that's a whole different sound. But some tunes really do miss, if you've got like a really percussive bass going in the upper mids and the mids and the low mids, and you duck that out when there's a kick, it just disappears. Your bass disappears, and quite hard. I reckon half the tunes I make, I kind of want to preserve those mids. But yeah, Wee Donkey, thanks for following. So yeah, the perfect thing that it doesn't. I guess the perfect sidechain would one that's bug free, that you can 100% rely on is going to load up properly. Because I still love Duck Buddy. Duck Buddy 2's out, and it's a paid one, and I want to pay the guy because I've used Duck Buddy 1, the free version, for so long, and it's so in like nearly every single one of my tracks. And I should just buy it off him, even if I'm not going to use it. Why am I not doing it now? I should do it now. I'll probably do that like this next week or something, and see and test it as well, because it might actually be a bit better. And as well, if I buy it and then I email the creator and say, "Oh, there's a little bug," then because I've bought it, he might feel more compelled to actually try and fix it. and then he's not selling it for enough. I think it's only like $15 or something. It's well cheap. But I know that version 2 is simplified. So every time I do it, I always do a look ahead and a ramp that's as long as the look ahead. Because why would you do it any other way? You want it to ramp down to where your transient is. So it looks ahead 10 milliseconds, ramps over 10 milliseconds, the transient occurs, and then it does this envelope back up again. But yeah, I think he's combined those two into one, because they don't need to be two separate settings. I think some of the interface has been simplified somehow. Right, anyway. How have you been making tunes, Wee Donkey? What kind of music do you make, Milo? And say no. What have you been doing? What have you been up to? Right, let's see, that sub is it just sounds like it's distorted. Direct out. Is it the shape? Mod source is LFO8. As you can see, it was made on an older version. Should we smooth it, see what happens? That actually makes a lot of difference. No way. Okay, let's. What I want really is see this. I want the sub really to be going closer to 0. Why? Because that's how you get loud masters. Oh, there's this as well. I've got so much. I don't like going back into projects for this reason once it's been published, because once you start, I've got a lot of plugins on the go here. Probably unless I don't use this amount of plugins anymore. I try and keep it to a minimum. But look at the state of that. Look, there's loads that aren't even turned on. I use Exciter on it. There we go, it's only like 1 dB below now. And if we look at that on 4x, wow, there's too many plugins here. What was I thinking? That's going way louder than the distorted there. Let's try it with this one. Try this more gentle curve. Smooth. In Serum 2, if you turn smooth up, you can actually see the output waveform just sort of like overlaid over it. It's really cool. So get rid of these like sharp endings and sharp uprights. So. That doesn't distort. You won't be able to hear that on a phone speaker. That's just the sine wave. But with all the other stuff, it sounds like there's distortion there with that synth. I need to get rid of it. I forget I've got a clipper. I've got a clipper there. So, let's turn it down, just turn the sub down by a dB. Better than nothing. Really badly mixed this. I've learned so much since last year. Like, well, let's see when I actually did work on this. It says 1 year here. Yeah. April the 9th. Okay, so it's over a year ago. Oh wait, no, when did I last work on it? That was April 16th is like the published version from last year. In that year, I seen how much this is going into the clipper on the master. That's like 20 dBs of a transient. That transient is out of control on a track or in a group somewhere. Well, it's in the drums, isn't it? And it's way too high. That I've since learned not to put that much strain on the clipper in the master. On the master channel, it's just you just leaving too much to chance. Now I control the clips like within the drum track, pretty much. It is still some signal is clipping in the on the master, but not 20 dBs. That's insane. but I don't want to go in and alter it. At this point, it sounds the way it sounds. I've just improved the balance a little bit with EQ. It's a bit in your face, this tune. It's not one of my best, but I just wanted to go in and make a slight change and not get too carried away with it. Hi DJCs, I said, how do? Did I say? Can you not use a compressor on a master channel? So, on this channel, on this project, I don't want to do anything more to it. It somehow sounds not too bad, even though it's basically it probably does like sound not bad because have I got two clip? Wait. Okay, I've got two limiters on this. It's really puzzling. I made this a year ago. I would not do this now. If I was making a track now, I would not have... I might have a multi-band if I cannot mix it properly via the channels, but I don't think I would use two limiters. I mean, there's one technique of using multiple limiters and sharing the load because they kind of behave differently. So I might have done it for that reason. The first limiter is only doing 1 dB of limiting. But the second clipper, right, this is another insane thing about this track. Look at that. Tell me what's wrong with that. All my tracks, right, this was this realization at this time last year, that there was something wrong with all my tracks. And the problem with it was there was too much bass and not enough high end. So my solution to it, and that made them sound like commercial tracks, was to just do that EQ curve. Basically, a gentle high shelf of everything above like 200, 500 hertz. Look at the state of that. That's 8 dBs, and it sounds clear. It just means it's the same as turning the sub down. Basically, too much sub relative to the mids and the highs. But it worked. It worked. It just means that there is a 20 dB transient going into the clipper before the final limiter, which looks like this. See, look at that. Yeah, this limiter is doing nothing. This limiter is here only to tell me the LUFS and to just to show me what the upper side of the waveform looks like before it goes, you know, it's just the output after that. So I can see it's nicely under there. The whale sound. Oh, I can't remember the whale sound. Was it in a D&B tune? Main master. See, what I don't want to do, I don't want to change anything in this track. I remember how I got it to sound was like, it was to get it as loud as possible, and everything was carefully pushed up against the limit, especially the subs, to not sound distorted. It took ages, and the trade-off was obviously like you couldn't normally do an 8 dB boost on most of the tracks that I make without it sounding incredibly harsh. But it works for this one because there weren't many elements like playing at the same time, and the ones that were being ducked by the clap. So they all kind of just get out of the way in time. You don't want to change much if you've got a multi. Yeah, this multi-band compressor. Now, you know, a year on, I would rarely use this now. I'm not someone to use OTT either. this is kind of my like recreation of an OTT, which is based. It's kind of just loosely based on this as well. This one of the presets. You, and I'm not even an advocate of using presets of multi-brands or compressors. It's something you need to fine tune with your ears and your spectrum analyzer and stuff, and just with a subwoofer and in the car to feel how the low end feels. It's hard to balance it all, but this is like a bit of an emergency tool. Last year I was making tracks to a deadline. I gave myself a month each to make a track. I was going to make and release 12 tracks in a month. In a year I did 7. But one of the things, and because I did 7 because life gets in the way and I won't be doing 1 track a month again. It was more like was it 8 tracks I did, or 6 in a month, and one of them was good enough to release. So I made way more tracks than that. Didn't finish them all. I only finished 7 or 8. But one of my solutions to getting the final sound was to just whack this multi-band compressor on and make it behave like OTT, because OTT kind of makes a lots of things, especially dance music, sound better. Like it just like you just feed it in, and suddenly the highs and the air become much more audible, and the transients get pushed back a bit, so it's a bit more pleasing to the ears. So that's what all this is doing. It's not even doing that. See, I mainly use -6 dB when finishing. Yeah, there's this thing about if you send it to a mastering engineer, they might ask for, when I once did send my tracks to be mastered to Sapo, I think he asked for the track how I've mastered it, and then the track with all the master plugins turned off, and to make sure, I think he said to make sure it's under 6 dB, like to make sure the highest peak isn't higher than 6 dB, because that's what's important. You could turn it down by 6 dB, but you might still have peaks that are like way above 0, so you obviously want to like make sure the highest peak is nice and safely below, so your mastering engineer's got the whole thing to work with. But then I'm saying that now a year on, and to have a peak going over 20 dB into your master, that's a high 20 dB higher than everything else. To me, that's bad practice now. I don't do that anymore. Like that's what I've learned in a year. Use a MIDI controller 7 while I'm the 2 every 3 to 4 months, mastering 2. Yeah, now I can't really put a finger on it, right? So October I started this journey of making everything at 140, and I have come out with 2 tracks already been released. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much 5 that are releasable. So that's 7 since October. What was it now? October, November, December, April. But that is 1 track a month, isn't it? 7 tracks in 7 months. Actually finished. But what messed me up doing it last year, that I've done all these in parallel. Like I've finished them. I've done the very final stages. I've gone back into that one night, gone back into that one another. Just done a little bit on each one each night. And then by the time I've done a week, and I'm going back through them again, I've kind of, my ears have forgotten what the sound sounds like a bit, and it sounds a bit fresh. And then I've done another pass over them. Whereas last year I was doing it in series. I was doing the starting, the discovery, the seeing what it wants to be, the drafting, and the finishing, and the mixing, and the mastering, all within 1 month. And it's just not. I learned a lot in that year. I learned not to do that again. So my technique now is to, and it means I've not released anything since October. Oh well, no, apart from these two, these came out in February. But it means now what I'm releasing will be from things that are ready, that I can just drop in with no pressure of no deadline. I can just drop them. I could even release one a month from now on, knowing that I'll have a load more coming up, because I'll just keep going, really. I don't use MIDI. I've got a MIDI keyboard. I think, I don't know if I had this target as well of February, so the gig was in February, on the end of February. So I had to, and the night's called Wob 40, as you probably know. And after the gig, that was it. I was like, what am I going to do now? You know, I played all these tunes. I played 11 of the tunes that I was working on, even if some of them weren't completely finished. They were done enough to play out, to sort of test them. But they've all been altered slightly since then, apart from the release one. So it just goes to show that you know, I don't think you can make tune in a month or a couple of months, but I think the longer you leave it to do each stage of the music making, the better, really. So it's probably better to say it's better to make like 10 tracks in 10 months than do 1 track a month for 10 months. I don't know. I probably could say it better than that, but you remastered it. Working on one at the moment, but it's taking a bit by bit. Oh, nice! You're on a remix. The first Rebirth. Using the first Rebirth, the synthesizer. All right. Jones and Stevenson. Can't see. Oh, okay. All right. I look forward to hearing it. Are you on the Discord? You might not use Discord. Not everyone does. You'd share it on there. Let's hear it. Right. Well, that was loud. I think I know why. Because nowhere near done, not ready for sure. I'm working on 2 remixes at the moment, and I wondered what the artist's expectations were with how long it would take. Like they weren't expecting. I know they weren't expecting anything soon, which is good, because for me to do a really good job, I keep going back into the project a week later and another week later, and adding and taking and shaping whatever, you know, and it gets better. It just gets better and better every time I do it. It's not getting worse. I go in with the attitude like, well, I could, you know, it's all saved and bounced. I could just destroy it. So I do feel free in that way. I've got nothing to lose. I've literally got nothing to lose at every single step, but So having that attitude helps. But I went in, and after like another hour or 2 hour session on it, I've done something that I keep surprising myself. I think that's good. When you do that each time, you come out with good stuff. So the finished product, one of them is finished, like, and I'm gonna send it next week. And I've impressed myself with it. You know, I'm happy if that's happened. Because I didn't know what to do with it at first. I didn't know how to give it my, my, like, the same care and attention I'd give to my own piece, to something I've created from scratch myself. I'm not that used to working with doing remixes. I've done some fun bootlegs, like D&B bootlegs and jungle bootlegs. But yeah, it's... Hi Paul Point. How you doing? Joshy492. Yo Brody, keep it up. How long have you been producing? 20 plus years. Mo and Mr. Records. I'm afraid. What kind of music is it? Thank you, Brody. MRV. Sounds more familiar. That's right. I'm not gonna do any more interfering with this. I've turned off all the illegal samples, shall we say. All the samples that I haven't got clearance for, can't get clearance for because it might be impossible, or don't have the money to get them cleared. Because everyone's got a price, I'm sure, but I don't. I'm on the zero budget for that. I can't buy a license for the people's samples. Out of, music and other music and stuff. Right, bounce. Let's bounce it to... It's already been released. I've got to remember where these folders are. Luckily I give them the right names. Right, that's one done. Make your own samples through Serum. No, you see, it's a vocal sample. I'll show you them as soon as it's bounced. They're really awesome samples. There was this sample pack I got out of Soulseek. Just randomly found this massive vocal hits, and it's just tons of samples out of like soul, hip hop songs, some out of sounds like TV and movies. They all sound like real old samples as well. Like, probably older than 10 years, most of them. And they're all WAVs, and they're all really good quality, and they're all very usable and musical. You can drop them in projects, and it sounds great. However, they're like just names of the words in the sample. There's no data, no metadata about where they're from, who sang it. You just completely in the dark about who to. If you did want to do a release that was where you have to declare, where you could get screwed over, or you could screw someone else over if they want to license your music, and you say, yeah, you own all the samples, of course I do, and then they get sued because you didn't declare it. Then, in fact, I imagine that they would actually be really, if they were in that position, they would probably ask you like specifically where you got those vocal samples, because they are like, it's not just synthesizers, it's actually like, oh, where's that sample from? And I'll be like, I've got no idea. However, I've already published this tune. It's on Spotify, and I might have had a few listens, therefore I have made some money from it. probably, you know, only like a few cents, but the fact is I've made money from stuff that I haven't cleared, and it's not, because it's underground music, no one's going to care. But if this music was going to be used in a film, it would matter a lot. If I was to relicense it in any way. So yeah, here's the samples that I muted. Get ready. It's a shame because they added so much energy. Do you know what? Actually, great. This could be a great tip. A really, really, really great tip. So I made the track with these samples, which inspired the energy for it. And now I've taken them away. The energy's still there. And I've heard of people doing that before with vocals, or even like actually having a whole track in the background and then muting it right at the end. And you're just left with this something that came from nothing, like oh, so that yeah, it's great. Yeah. And then this, yeah, and I've stuttered this. Yeah. But someone with the right ear, if it was in a film, you know, if it was in a game, so I want to submit music to go in games, right? If someone had that as their opening track on a game, and the copyright holder knew it was theirs, immediately they would ring their label or ring their manager and say, am I getting paid for this? And then I'd get in trouble. Or I could get sued, or if they feel like there's money being made, which in computer games there's lots of money, then yeah, it would just, I would get fucked, and so would the games maker probably. I'm not sure. As the games maker has allowed it to be published, they would. That's why they've got to be diligent. And this one as well. Come on! Which is brilliant. How good is that? Like, so it's a shame, but without them, there's still kind of the energy there. It's not like there's a blank bit missing where there's no voice either. It's like there's enough going on in the track. Soulseek's amazing, yeah. Soulseek. Speaker version of Say 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 by Jacko. See if I use a vocal sample 8 from filter with effects and filters and all sorts. Yes, that's the other thing you can do with it. I mean, Prodigy reversed one of their samples, didn't they? Like in the Experience album. I think that was out of a film, and they couldn't get a license for it. I think they must have got a license for all the other samples that they used, but there's one that they couldn't, so it was reversed before a drop. You might know it, and on the Experience album, I think it's Speedway, like a soundtrack to the Speedway film or something that didn't get in the film, and they had a sample and they couldn't use it, so they just reversed it. Which, what do you want me to play? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on! That one. So I have actually, there was one track. Oh yeah, that's it. There's one track where the voices are not musical. Like these are all clearly out of soul records or something. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. But there's one D&B track I made with that someone asked me could they put it in their game, and I said I can remove the samples if you want. It's all this. There's only 2 samples out of the Matrix. One of them is I Know Kung Fu. It's Keanu Reeves saying I know Kung Fu. and the other one is Neo saying something. What does he say? Neo saying something profound as usual. And I thought, because they're quite both softly spoken, they're not singing belting out. I could just do like a really shit version, but it's just my voice. What is it now? I kind of like the idea of that rather than just remove them, because I think having a little bit of a few words before a drum and bass drop is like, it's a lot of fun, isn't it? Let's just go. So this is my D&B name. Let's find it. Oh, am I not logged in? Oh, get lost. Choice.
Show me.
Oh yeah, I know Kung Fu. Show me. Which is a great bit of the film. Every bit of that film is great though, isn't it? Show me. I can't even do it. Show me. Not right now. It's too late. Too late now. I know Kung Fu. Show me. Oh yeah, that's the one. The problem is choice. So all I've got to do is just pretend to be a Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne for 5 minutes. How hard can it be? Right, did I bounce that? Did I imagine I bounced it? There it is. Right. I managed to make a drum step track that was under 3 minutes as well. Another new one for me. Right, what else is on this list? There was a few others. There was like 2 other tracks with samples in that I want to submit to this to be in a game. Use the vocal out of Dead Man's Shoes. Okay. What can you remember what the words were? Get a mic and vocoder. Yeah, vocoder. See, if you want to like technically cover up so that it can't be scanned, you know, because you could do like a future content ID could scan for movie samples, right? Because I don't think there is one that does do that, unless it's a blend. That's the thing. Unless you're getting 1 million streams for a track, probably no movie studio is going to be asked. And I've not even heard of a movie studio yet suing anyone for using one of their samples. I could be wrong. Oh no, wait. I did look this up a while. I think there have been a few cases, but the ones they want to get is sampling other music. But yeah, if you put that sound through a vocoder, it changes it so much that it's not detectable, technically not even detectable, but also does change it enough so that it's just beyond recognition, isn't it? Vocoders tend to do that, don't they? But see, vocoders are good. Have you got a recommendation for good vocoder? Because I used to have a really good one. Orange vocoder. I think I need to just go ahead and buy it because I used to use it. It was quite slow to use it because it didn't have a MIDI input, or I couldn't get a MIDI working. So I had to like manually press the keys and record each sound going through it in each note. It sounded good. What came out sounded good. But what I found with vocoders, it's really important. The sound that you feed into it's really important. Like if you're vocoding a voice, you want like a really good buzzy chord or something, you know, something that's got high frequency content so it can vocode the top of the higher end of your voice. 3 for codecs. Oh, see, FL Studio does have some nice plugins. Audacity has a vocoder. That is quite audacious. Right, that's done. What else should we do? That's all I came on to do tonight. Well, obviously to do live and let the world see kind of what I do. Let's see what else is on here. Coast Ember. Coast Ember. Remove sample. See this sample. This one's a nightmare. Right. Coast Ember, which was made in, well, it was finished, published in September last year. So that's not that old. A few new techniques on there as well. Let's load it up. Was chilling while listening in the back. Just message you a link which Deadman Shoes vocals. It's a mega download. I am a mega user as well. I back up everything. Not everything, but like all my projects and samples. So if something should happen to my computer, I don't lose like years of work, decades of sample collection. Yeah, well, I do have a backup in the house as well, like, you know, like I do back up to an external hard drive, but having it go automatically and then download it while you're in the car, like dead easy, it's brilliant. Love it. Highly recommend it. I had the free version for ages, but I just use it too much. It's like over a terabyte I'm using at the moment. 1.3 terabyte. Paul Point. Catch you soon, Paul. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Have a lovely evening. DJ Leon L. Thank you for following. Oh yeah, there's no top tip, back up all your stuff. Because I see people coming on social media like something's happened to the hard drive or something. You know, it's usually a hard drive breaking and it can't be recovered for some reason. And I don't want to be the guy who goes on Captain Hindsight going, should have backed up, mate. I think it's got to happen to you first. You've got to lose some data that's precious to you until you really, really, really want to back up your stuff regularly. It's happened to me. It happened to me when I had a sampler, an EMU sampler, like an outboard sampler, and the hard drive in it was just corrupted. I took it out and replaced it. I lost so much data. I lost so many tunes. I made the most of it and started again. Doing that is good as well. Fresh, coming back fresh. Still annoyed though. I'm not annoyed now, but it was bad. Golden rule, yeah. Just ask yourself, like, if all my tunes were deleted now because of a lightning strike or a solar flare or something, how would I feel? What would I do? I've got this PC I only got last year. It's an A8, a Geekom A8, and it's like a 13th gen equivalent chip. It's a mobile chip, but it's in like the tiny little desktop thing. So it's cheap because it's not got all the laptop stuff or built around it, but it's essentially like a laptop that's not a laptop. But it's faster than my last computer. Like by about 50% faster. Not as much as I'd hoped, though. It seems that you have to wait quite a lot longer to get double the speed these years. Took you hours to organise samples properly and I accidentally deleted, but still had the original backup. Because if you deleted them, it would have been. Imagine if half the samples were missing out of your drum kits and your projects next time you loaded it up. It would just be hell. You might as well just. It would be hell. Good clock speed. Yeah, what is it? It's is it like 4.2 gigahertz or something? I forget what it is. Ryzen 8945. Wow, their website's taking ages to load. See, it's the RAM. That's the trouble with RAM. With why computers don't like get loads faster. It's because it's hard to make memory that goes faster. That's like the bottleneck, I think. And I watched a YouTube video which explains exactly why there's a limit on memory. It was good. It's a good video for if you want to geek out. Let's just Google this, see what clock speed we're running at. 4 gigahertz. Yeah. Turbo speed 5.2. I don't really notice. 4 gigahertz. Oh yeah, I managed to make Serum make it crackle now. I know how to overload Serum too. It's quite easy. I think, yeah, use a granular synth and turn it up to like 16 unison. That'll do it. So this track, you know what? I just realised something. Fuck's sake. I just rendered that last track at -4 dB. Oops. Just spent 400 building my someone as he loves gaming, and it takes about 60 seconds to switch on. 60 seconds. You've built a PC for 400. That's pretty good. Like, I was looking at getting sort of a 13th or 12th gen chip and building a desktop, because I used to build my own desktops, and it was going up to £1,000. You know, it was more than it was to just buy an all-in-one like this. I paid, what was it, like 700 or 800? I can't remember. I think you can get it a bit cheaper now. Yeah, 2 terabytes. That was, oh, it's saying 900 now. I think I got it for 800, but it was, I think, limited time. Highly recommend it though. Windows 11 is really like it's a downgrade from Windows 10. I've always been pretty happy with Windows, apart from Windows Vista. Well, that only leaves Windows XP, Windows 10, doesn't it? But Windows 10 was good, really good. So is Windows 8. But Windows 11 is File Explorer is done bad things. What do you mainly produce? Dubstep and D&B, mainly. Yeah, 2 terabytes. I've nearly filled it up already. Because I used to download so many sample packs, and then I realised that more samples isn't going to make me better music. But by then it was too late. I already had them on my hard drive. I already started using them. Once you start using them, you can't fucking delete them, can you? You can't. How hard it is. Find the tunes that those samples are in, save them, and delete the rest. That'll take too long. Ryzen 7 3.4, 4.6. Nice. Oh, that's good then. Yeah. That's fast, isn't it? Yeah, that's what we want. An SSD and with the M. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. I was literally looking at the page. M2. Nice. See, I've got some old PSUs knocking around and desktop cases. You know, I already have like all the stuff. I just needed it. But motherboards are like well expensive now. Motherboard chip, RAM, M2 SSD. I would use the built-in graphics because I don't really play games. On fans, yeah, good fan, a good heatsink and fan that's like not noisy. Sample packs are good for inspiration, yes they are. I kind of like, I was against it at first, but like, you know, like Serum and Loop Cloud is actually a really good idea for like getting samples, as long as you're always connected to the internet. Instead of having entire sample packs on your hard drive, you can just get the sound you want. Like, you might not want a whole directory full of drum loops that take up loads of space. You might just want, or bass loops, you know. You might just want a clap and some rim shots, which I did, and I spent all my credits on a shitload of rim shots. And I don't know why I didn't think of it years ago. Like, how am I've been doing this for so fucking long, and I think of just one day I'll just think, I need some rim shots. I know, I'll go and get loads of rim shots. And suddenly I'm making tunes with rim shots in, like loads of them. It's pretty funny. It's never ending. Sample packs good, yeah, they are good for inspiration. Yeah, like going on Loop Cloud, and I downloaded like a few snares on there that I didn't necessarily want to use. I just wanted to download them and look at them in a wave on a scope, and to see to sort of guess how they were made, so I could reverse engineer it. But also, yeah, so you can just make tunes really quick. Like, if you can just drop a really mint snare on, like, out of nowhere, instead of trying to make one, speed things up. 275, nice. It is decent. Someone sent me a splice, like, weird mad intro thing. It was so full and rich, and I was like, and you could put it in any intro and it would sound good. And that was inspiring, just hearing that as well. Like, this track. So, this sample, right, it would be impossible. Not impossible, but it's a scratching sample. But I've sampled it off a happy hardcore record from like the 90s. There's a brilliant moment in the tune where at the end of like 8 bars, it just does this mad scratch before it goes back in. like the bass line and the riff sounds like 80s retro techno. Nice. I like to hear what people think of that track because I've got no idea. It was just kind of what felt right in that moment. I could hear what it wanted to be, sort of thing. It was mainly the bass. It was the bass just took it and then did this stab thing, and I was like, I'm gonna make it into like a 4/4 track because I don't really do 4/4 tracks normally. But one with, you know, build-ups like a D&B tune, you know, like a nice why is it silent? Oh. That bass was really hard to mix and stick with, but it was literally the track that was. It doesn't even sound that good really. Bass. To me now, I wouldn't use that as a bass now. A year on, well, since September. Cuts through though, just about cuts through. It's a slip mat scratch, that's interesting. Thank you, DJ Siege. I think Slipmat was around before this track was made, because I remember when I was in school, I'd record hardcore mixes off the radio, and I'd go in and I heard this like Belgian like hardcore Belgian hard techno kind of music mixed in with hardcore, and it had all these weird sounds, and this was one of the sounds, and this is slowed down. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is Slipmat, if it's a sample of a Slipmat scratch, him scratching another record that's probably sampled another record, it's like this chain, but because it's scratch, it really does obfuscate the original, doesn't it? Whoever's voice is this though, are they gonna know? I feel it just feels ridiculous, but I don't want to submit it and call it and sign a thing that says I've owned this sample, because I don't. It's on Spotify. This tune is on Spotify. So, and it's even on PRS. I've even declared it to PRS that there are no samples in this tune. But I think what they're looking for is obvious samples. Oh, DJ Psy, yeah. Sly or Psy? Yeah, Psy. I loved Psy. Yeah. I think Psy still is a legend. Yeah. I love the tunes that he made with Psy and lots of people. Psy and Unknown. Did you sign Devotion? He worked with a lot of people. Wouldn't surprise me if it's one of his, yeah. It's just like, they won't know. They won't know. They're not gonna know, are they? But then I was in two minds about whether to see what it sounds like muted anyway. This is what I wanted to hear. I wanted to just bounce a version where it was muted to see if the energy was still there. Can't tell. Jimmy J. Wow. That's going back in it. Did you have all these on vinyl? I didn't have all these on vinyl. I just like heard them all on radio. Stu Allen, the legend. Nice. I think I wasn't old enough to at the time to understand that what even I was listening to. Like it was just this. All I knew is that I liked it. Listen to this stuff, this mysterious, energetic music, which was mostly instrumental, but like alien sounding. I didn't realize till later. Oh, they come on fucking records. Okay. Nice. That's probably how old I was actually. 8 or 9 maybe. Yeah. Oh wait, no, I was a bit older. So yeah. Where the tune that's out of there is mental. It's just I kind of want to find it now. Where can I find it quickly? Rapid scratching. Showing Explorer. Is it gonna? I think I've chopped all these up way too much. Oh no. By date. Twenty 2019, 2024. That's how fast it would. I've completed. Yeah, I don't know. The original's out there somewhere. Anyway. Right, I'll leave this one because I kind of want to keep the samples in now. Oh yeah, so I'm going to load up Choice by me by Nextlev. Choice. The problem is Choice. Oh, and I've got to get the mic out. Used to have it on a lot on tape, cassette, like live recordings. My sister got off. Some went to raves. No way. Yeah. Was your older sister going to raves? Yeah, it was my friends like in school. They had older brother, and I think it was through him that they were getting that influence, whereas mine was just purely from scanning the radio stations, like bored, like same old, turning a dial, like same old every night, but just hearing all these mad things. Like it's like a whole landscape, isn't it? The radio spectrum, and then turn it, and then just every so often hearing these like break beats and just sped up chipmunk samples, same wild stuff, crazy banging beats and synths. What was the other one? Afternoon Swing. Choice, remove sample. Yeah. The problem is Choice. Let's load it up. Let's do it. Done. Released. Choice. What's this one? Show me. You can't really fake Lawrence Fishburne's voice though, can you? IQ triple eight, thank you for following. One girl I was with, her friend, husband, used to work with Hixie and Dougal producing. Oh, no way, he had an accident. Lost his memory. No way. Hixie and Dougal. My gosh. Such happy vibes they were putting out, weren't they? They just wanted to make the happiest sounding music possible. And sometimes it was just sometimes they went a bit too far, you know, like I did like a bit of the harder stuff. I liked what Stu Allen did, he would play like a range of stuff, but obviously the record, some producers have a style and they stick with that style, don't they? They know what works. They're DJing out every weekend. They know that if they keep that same vibe, make a different track, but with that kind of style, they know they're onto a winner every single time. So why change it? But a whole album of all really happy hardcore was it was always a bit too much for me. So I was always like, oh, it's too much. I liked just one little bit of filth mixed in there as well. Stu Allen did that. Stu Allen put a bit of everything. Imagine losing your memory. It's like, I think that's why sleep is so important. I keep trying to stay awake and not, if I don't get 8 hours, but I used to get 9 hours. Now I've got kids. That's gone down, and I can feel my memory just not as good as it's not working as well as it used to. So, but memory is an active process, and you have to use it to make it work. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get an early night tonight. It's 20 past midnight. It's going so well. Two hours. Working on your own craft pie. Nice to hear. Thank you for commenting. Thanks, pie. That's how I did it. I mean, like, I picked up so much inspiration from watching TC D&B. His live streams were really good. He would just have, I don't think he even think his face was on there. He just had a, oh, Ableton's crashed. Oh dear. TC and who's the other one? I can't remember who else I used to watch. Anyone, anyway, literally anyone who's got something I don't know. I'm like watching him do it. Like watching the workflow. It's great, isn't it? Kenny Beats. All right. What sort of music was Kenny Beats making? So yeah, I'm just going through some old tunes from last year that are already published, or released. Published is a fancy word, and it sounds like it's been like loads of money's coming my way, but it's not. Okay, now Kenny does a lot of popular beats for top rappers, right. Yeah, so has he done like him showing himself sort of like making beats, how he makes them? That'll be good. I'm into that. Especially, you know, if you know it sells, you kind of want to see what the secret formula is, don't you? Like, how's he doing his layers, you know? That's what I want to know. Are you going to go to work on projects? Thanks for chiming in, DJ Siege. That was nice chatting, and of course reminiscing about the hardcore times. Yeah, I look forward to hearing your projects, mate. Nice. Yeah, it's good. It's good, isn't it? It's good to be open. It's not like any, you know, I used to have this fear where um, people might copy me, but I've tried copying other producers, and it's almost impossible. Like you can't, if you've got a creative mind, you don't want to anyway. You'll start making a bass exactly like following the instructions down to the exact number. But then you'll just, as soon you might make it exactly, but then you'll take it in a complete, like the direction that you're feeling, for every bit of it, like I've the closest thing I've done to a complete replica is covering Aphex Twin's Helios Fan, and I did a YouTube video, and that was really fun as well because you can't get it to sound like Aphex's original. It's impossible to get it to sound like it. You can get really close, but with like the phase, I started to hear the phases, the phasing built into the samples that Aphex Twin used for Helios Fan are like really important to give the thick sound that he's got. I was I had got some of the timbre of the sounds he was using, but because I'd used multiple layers, they were phasing with each other, and that kind of affected this sort of thickness of the sound. That was one thing I learned from trying to copy. So even if you try and copy, it's great. It's great to reminisce DJCs. Yeah, take care, mate. He's got a series called The Cave. He does best live, and a rapper does freestyle of it in a way. I don't know how much sampling you do, but he makes it seem approachable. Okay. Chance of techno. I think how easy it is. It's almost impossible to copy someone else's easy. It is, yeah. So true. Yeah. Now I just these days, yeah, just got no problem. Like if I love the idea that I'm inspiring someone the way that I've been inspired, if it makes people go offline and go, I'm going to work on a project, that's great. I like that. As much as I like chatting to them and stuff and hanging out, it's like, I'm getting off, mate. Like, I've just had an idea for a tune. It's like, yeah. I'd be the same. You don't want to be like afraid to say bye, do you? You want to just like go and do your craft, like go and do your art every time. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, I did see. Yeah, I've always liked to do that. Yeah, and it takes longer, but it's just how I do it. It's just how I've done it for so long. I do use more samples these days though, because when you're making stuff like drum and bass and dubstep, you could spend forever trying to make a bunch of rim shots and not make any music. Like you could literally make 20 rim shots, and you could have really good rim shots. You might have to make 100 rim shots to make 20 really good ones. And you could have made a tune. You could have just bought one, and dragged it in. Pi. I'm surprised James hasn't come on. Maybe his something's twitching on his body now, saying someone's talking about rim shots. Yeah, I've been using Loop Cloud. It's not that different from Splicer, really. Right, what am I doing? What am I loading now? Considering what time it is, I should I load that one, that D&B one? What kind of music do you make, Pi? So all I've got to do is remove. I've got Afternoon Swing, which is like, I don't know. I guess it's like techno The way it was described on here, I really liked it earlier. Here we go. DJC says that it was 80s retro techno. Mostly kind of trap beats. Okay. Right, I'll load Afternoon Swing, even though it's nothing like trap. It's kind of, it's not D&B. Let's try and find it through this way. Next Love. Released Afternoon Swing. So yeah, this is like some kind of weird, I don't know what it is. It is what it wanted to be at the time. Casino type beat style. No, I don't know what that is. Is that like getting like, is Clam's Casino an artist? Stutter type of sampling. Okay. Can you do shoegaze? I was introduced to shoegaze last year, I think it was. The short answer is no. I can do, the closest thing I can do is ambient, I think, but that's not shoegaze. It's, I guess shoegaze could be, some shoegaze could be ambient, couldn't it? Let's see how many it finds. Take your bets. Is it going to get all of them? All of them! Well, hey. Well done, Ableton. Doesn't always get all of them. So this is, so I had to release this track to have a regret about it. It's quite a big one now. Oh, I know you were looking for shoe. Can you make shoegaze on Ableton? I thought it was all like mostly acoustic. Obviously, you can use Ableton to multi-track instruments, can't you? But no, it's mostly dance music that I make. Music to dance to. D&B, dubstep. Oh yeah, please do, Pi. Yeah. Yeah, you can send it me on Insta or on TikTok, or I've got a Discord server as well. I don't think chat will let you send a link. It might do actually. I can actually copy if you do. But you TikTok message. Make all instruments blend into a massive harmony. Makes music feels like they're melting. Yeah. Have you been to any Butterfinger? Not Butterfinger. Have you been to any shoegaze live shows? So the info for this track. So I might submit this track to be on a computer game, right? And the only note I've put is remix the fizz out. What did I mean by that? I think maybe the snare is a bit too fizzy. You've only been to a single concert. Who was it to see? Young Blood? I feel like I should know. I've heard of Young Blood. I can't think. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. It's 20 years of making anything that sounds different. It doesn't sound different to this. It's got kicks and snares. It doesn't sound. It's not Autica, is it? It's not like just mad, like a new era of sound design with every moment that passes by. It's like a bit of everything but nothing. Like middle of the road, generic. No, it's not. I wouldn't say it's generic, but it was really hard to mix. And since I've made this, I know I've made lots of mistakes. It's too busy. I liked the melodies. I think that's why I carried on with it. Punky, alright. British punk. Thanks, Buttfinger. Anti-pop should be a genre. So what have you sent me here? Let's see, because I should probably go soon. Which gives me time to like listen to one kind of thing. OneDrive. Oh, Drive, not OneDrive. Play. Can I play it in there? Detachment. Is it going to work? I think I might have to download it. Oh, it takes a second because it's a WAV. Yeah, is it a WAV? Yeah, it's a WAV. I should know these things, shouldn't I? Too impatient. Just a work in progress. Nice. Thanks for sending. Script on the way out. While we're waiting. Kilowatts. Refresh. I'll wait. Wait for it to buffer, maybe? Oh. Nice. That's nice on my ears. That's like an instant for me. If pretty much most music genres, if it sounds like that, like you've done there, I like it. It like makes my ears smile.
We're ready to go.
It gets weird. It's not distorting though. It's still good.
This is Bill Muller at the peak of intoxication. Later, he said the experience was both pleasurable and exciting. But after the euphoria had worn off, he also recalled an intense feeling of detachment.
Was that a NASA sample at the end? I love that, by the way. That was really good. I'm really impressed by that. Did you? Yeah. That was great, Pi. And it just sounds... The reason I looked on here is because I just wanted to check my ears weren't lying. It looks very tight down there.
This is Bill Muller at the peak of intoxication. Later, he said the experience was both pleasurable and exciting. But after the euphoria had worn off, he also recalled an intense feeling of detachment.
All right.
Go.
Yeah, that was great. Really, yeah. Have you got lots of stuff like that? So what's this one? Gonna have to go soon. Okay. I'm already loving it. That's it. That is a good style that you were making there, yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I don't try that. Why don't I try that? You gotta have some nice samples. You got some really nice samples in there. Bomb rush. Bomb brush. Like Super Bomberman. He's got a brush. Has he got a brush to bounce the bombs? I love a bit of IDM. Brain dance. Wow, okay. That would suit it. That would really suit it. It's like a game developer choosing this is like wild. It's got a nice bit there. Like a little just break from it. Like a little bit of niceness in all the madness. Those keys. Let's have a look at a screenshot of the game. Oh, Cyberfunk. Okay. Customize your bike. Yeah. Graffiti Wars. Oh, I don't have time to play games. Especially not now I've got kids. Just not a chance. Not a chance. When did I last play? Oh, I last played on what's it called? Can't think of the name. Roblox. Because my son wanted to play a deathmatch thing on it. I just obliterated him, and then he turned on auto aim and obliterated me, so I thought I had an advantage with a mouse. Kids would play it. Is it on Is it on PlayStation? Doesn't look like it. Oh, it has got a laptop. No way. Content soundtrack. So this is great. It's like a nice bit of I don't even know what to call it again. Just apart from the IDM, which I don't like to use anyway. Is it all different artists? Right. Well, Pi. Got me to. Oh, thanks for chatting. And sending that tune. That was amazing. Stay in touch, mate. Like, send me more stuff. Send stuff to the Discord if you go on that. That's on my Discord server as well. If you want me to hear anything as well. Yeah, have a good evening. Take care. Yeah, that's a tune. That. It's quite long, isn't it? Problem solving. Who's it by? It's by Kilowatts. Yeah, their pick. Todd. Brilliant. Yeah, I'd love to get music in a computer game. There is a few tracks coming out in a game that's not. I don't know when it's coming out. It's still being developed, but I've signed a deal. I've got 4 D&B tracks. Should be good. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. It's It's a dystopian. What is it now? I'd have to dig out the email. He showed me a screen. It's from down in Cardiff. Some game developer down in Cardiff. And I was like, let me know details because I want to start the hype myself. You know, if my tracks are going to be released in a game, even if it's in a few years' time, I want to like make a story or something about it every so often. But he just said, I'll let you know when there's more details. He did show me a little screenshot, like a little video of like the thing working on it, but that was all. It kind of looked like a 2D game. It looked like a sort of a almost like 8-bit style. So yeah, it should be interesting. As soon as I know, it'll be a story. I'm just waiting because I'll be on the mailing list. But yeah, I think it's got it's going to be like an in-game radio with loads of tunes on it. So he's obviously hunted for artists who want to have their music included on there. So yeah, I got a little bit of money for that. It's good. Doesn't happen very often, but hey, it's happening more often now. I'm like, the longer I've been in doing this, the more opportunities. It's just you got to keep doing it. But yeah, that was a good tune. That it did remind me. It was kind of a bit like a cross between Square Pusher and just jazz. Yeah, it's good. Good. Kilowatts. I feel like I've heard of Kilowatts before as well. Should we look them up on Discogs? Search. Kilowatts musician on Discogs. Come on. Yeah, this is Kilowatts. Wow, that's a lot of releases. I've probably heard some of his stuff before, especially on Soma FM, I reckon. I bet my friends have played it. My gaming friends, I bet they have. I bet they know it and love it. Because I've got it looks like is it cyber is it cyberpunk? Is that the one that's like 2049 or whatever it is? What the fuck is it called? Oh, it's like a dystopia. I want to know your name. Not sure if that's the actual name though. Definitely, this song's actually famous. Yeah, you know that game. It doesn't it? Isn't it similar? Well, that's like a murder mystery, isn't it? No one knows it's by them. Oh, right, I'm struggling to stay awake now. I'm after doing it. Setel. Sorry, mate. I'm gonna go. I think this happened last time, didn't it, Telf? You'll catch me one day at the right time. If you want to do feedback on the Terrapastel server, there's a feedback channel in there. The link is in my bio if you want to go on there. Just post in the feedback and say what you want, really. So just say if you want, ask if you want feedback on, if you get specific on what you want feedback on, you'll get specific answers. That's my tip. Because if you just ask for feedback, it's like, yeah, it's alright. You know, like, but if you say, how can I get the snare to sit better with the other elements, you know, that you get, I can answer that really well. Like technical questions. I can answer musical ones as well, but technical ones are like easy for me, I think. Even though there's probably like multiple answers, and other people on there might have ideas as well. But yeah, I need to go. Like I've got loads of sleep to catch up on. But yes, Buttfinger, Telf, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the chats. Good chatting, Buttfinger. So that was a good track. That was a fun track to listen to, and it's interesting that music in games is like a whole big world of music, isn't it? Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for all your likes and follows. Yeah, you gotta have good music in a game, haven't you? I remember playing Wipeout and Chemical Brothers, and I didn't know it was Chemical Brothers, and I'll always remember that, playing Wipeout, like out of control. Right, take care. Good evening. In a bit.